We have the December 2022 US NPD results. So let's take a look at it. Let's see what the top sellers are and how the console market and gaming market is doing. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Here is the December 2022 US NPD threat from Matt Piscatella of the NPD group. And there's some interesting information here. But first of all, with the overall spending on video game content, hardware and accessories, it totaled 7.6 billion in December of 2022, which is an increase when compared to a year ago. The big thing here is that the hardware spending was up 16% compared to declines in software and actual game sales. You can see it down here, the change where you have total game sales down 5%, and then you have video game hardware up 8%. And the reason why the entire video game sales thing is down is because of that negative 7% in video game content and a negative 8% in video game accessories. So 2022 had a $56.6 billion spend compared to 2021, which is about $59.6 billion. And one of the big things in 2022 was there was a ton of delays. There were still hardware constraints, but those hardware constraints are becoming less and less. It is a lot easier now to actually go out and pick up a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. I see it all the time popping up on my Twitter feed with links on Amazon, Best Buy, all the other retailers where PS5 specifically I see all the time is readily available. And even if you go into GameStops, I've seen PlayStation 5s and Xboxes that you could actually just pick up in the store. So the hardware constraints are still there, but they're greatly decreased, and we really see that with the increase in the total video game hardware. And I think that's going to continue throughout 2023. And then you're going to have a lot of games that got delayed from 2022 into 2023 coming out, which is going to also stimulate the video game spending, especially on the content and subscription side of things, especially when you think about Xbox and stuff coming out to Xbox Game Pass. Now, we go down here, let's talk about some of the games, some of the best sellers in December of 2022. You have the big one here, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which we know has been in the news a lot, or at least the Call of Duty franchise, because of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. And it's always a top seller every single year, and it stays in the top selling games for months. MW2, an extremely popular game and a great Call of Duty as well. From everything that I've played and from a lot of the reviews, is one of the better ones in the last couple of years, is continuing to sell very well, followed by Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, again continuing to sell very well, which is not surprising with how popular Pokemon is. But there were a lot of issues on that game at launch. But when you have a good game, when you have good gameplay, and you have a fan base that is excited for it, even with those issues, people kind of look past it and play them, and they're still having a good time with the game. Even did better than God of War Ragnarok. If you remember the sales of God of War Ragnarok, they announced it, and then Pokemon Scarlet and Violet announced theirs and destroyed the God of War Ragnarok sales. And you still have Madden and FIFA, the two staple franchises of Electronic Arts, in the top 5. Need for Speed Unbound seemingly has picked up. I would have thought that game did not very good sales because they instantly cut it to $50 in Canada, so that's half price. But I think it was maybe like $30 in the United States. You would assume that because they cut the price of that game so fast, the sales of it started off very, very slow, and obviously that price cut has helped it as it has moved up there. And then you got Mario Kart 8 still here in the top 10, which isn't, I guess, that surprising because the Nintendo Switch probably sold an incredible amount throughout Christmas, which brings the greatest kart racing of all time, Mario Kart 8. I still don't know how they're going to improve on Mario Kart 8 with Mario Kart 9, because Mario Kart 8 is just such a perfect kart racing game in my opinion. Selling, and they also had those bundles with the Nintendo Switch. You could get Mario Kart available to download right when you bought your Nintendo Switch. Now, in terms of the top 20 video games in 2022, again, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, a game that released the end of October, so only essentially 2 months of time for that game to be out, to be in the top video games of 2022, is number 1, which right there says all you need to know about how powerful and how lucrative the Call of Duty franchise is. And then you got Elden Ring at number 2, a game that I would have thought that with the popularity of it and it coming out in February had a chance at ending up at number 1 through 2022. But again, Call of Duty is just so powerful that isn't the case. Then we look down here, you have Madden at number 3, God of War Ragnarok at number 4, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, extremely successful game for good reason. It was a great release in the Lego series. They redid the Star Wars games. There's 9 in there. There's so much to do, so much to collect. It is a fun game. Then you have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at number 6. Now, in terms of Nintendo specifically, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Mario Kart 8 still in there. Again, Mario Kart 8, I think a lot of that has to do with, I mean, you pick up a Nintendo Switch if you're just getting it because Nintendo Switch is still selling very well. You're going to pick up Mario Kart because it's that good of a game. But also there was that bundle with the Nintendo Switch where you get Mario Kart 8 in there. Then you have Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which is funny because we just had Ubisoft come out and say the game didn't do that well, but it is number 3 in December 2022, which it's a great game. The Mario and Rabbids game are awesome if you like those turn-based strategy styles of games. It's worth checking out for sure. But number 3 in December seems like it had a decent amount of sales compared to what Ubisoft was either expecting and based off of what they said. Then we look here at the PlayStation side of things. You have for December 2022 Call of Duty on top. Again, another reason why PlayStation really wants to block this deal, because they are going to be paying Xbox and Microsoft all of this money for their top selling game every single year, which is something they absolutely do not want. They got God of War Ragnarok, Madden 23, FIFA 23, and Need for Speed Unbound in that top 5, which again, I'm surprised because I thought this game just did absolutely terrible based off of the price cuts that we got right away for it. In terms of the total 2022 dollars in sales in terms of games for PlayStation is Call of Duty on top, game that released in October, beating out God of War Ragnarok that came out like a week later, so essentially released at the same time, and that was supposed to be the biggest selling game for PlayStation this year. Call of Duty beating it out, then Elden Ring, Madden, and then Horizon Forbidden West at number 5. So 2 exclusives in there for PlayStation this year. They'll probably be happy with that. But again, the biggest thing here is that the third parties overall, like Call of Duty, are going to do better than a huge game like God of War. And PlayStation knows this. They don't want to be paying all that money over to Xbox if that deal does go through. When it comes to Xbox, here's number 1, Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, Need for Speed Unbound again, and then Elden Ring. And I think it will be interesting to see in 2023 how this all plays out with the exclusives coming out from Xbox, like a Redfall and like a Starfield. Obviously, they don't add the subscription numbers in there, but people still go out and buy these games. We saw that with Forza Horizon last year, 2021, how many copies that sold, even though that came onto Game Pass day 1. And then finally, the top games for Xbox in dollar sales in 2022, Call of Duty, Elden Ring, Madden, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, and FIFA 23. And then even funnier under that, you have at 6 and 7, Call of Duty Vanguard, and then Black Ops Cold War, and Gotham Knights in the top 10, which isn't bad. Saints Row in the top 10 as well. Again, another game that they said didn't live up to expectations. So interesting that these companies are saying these games aren't meeting expectations, but then you look at these numbers, especially in the US NPD results, and some of them are in the top 10 sales of the entire year of 2022. So there you have it, just a quick look at the 2022 NPD results for December and some results for the entire year in terms of game sales. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the sales on Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Please hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.